Hello, and welcome back to our English podcast for beginners.
Hi, everyone. We're really happy you're here with us today.
This is a calm place where you can listen, relax, and learn English naturally.
Thank you for taking this time for yourself and your English.
Today, we are talking about a topic many learners think about every day. We are talking about how to think in English. Many people want to stop translating in their head, but they don't know how. This can feel frustrating.
Yes, if you are listening now, you may understand this feeling very well. You hear English, but your brain quickly goes to your first language. Then you translate back into English. This can feel slow and tiring.
We want to say something important first. Translating in your head is not wrong. It is a normal step in learning a new language. Your brain is trying to help you understand. There is nothing wrong with you.
That is very important to hear. Many learners feel bad about translating. They think they are failing. But translating simply means your brain is still learning new patterns. This stage does not last forever.
Today, we are not going to force you to stop translating. Forcing creates stress. Stress makes learning harder. Instead, we want to help you understand how thinking in English grows naturally.
Yes, thinking in English is not a switch you turn on. It is a habit that grows slowly. Your brain needs time, repetition, and calm listening. This process should feel gentle.
Let's talk about why translating happens. Your brain has used your first language for many years. It feels safe and fast. When you learn English, your brain uses what it knows to help you understand.
Exactly. Translation is your brain's bridge. It helps you cross from your language to English. Over time, that bridge becomes less necessary, but at the beginning, it is very useful.
Many learners ask, when will I stop translating? The answer is different for everyone, but one thing is the same for all learners. It happens when English starts to feel familiar, not when you try harder.
Familiarity is the key word here. When English feels familiar, your brain relaxes. When your brain relaxes, it stops translating so much. This is why listening practice is very important.
Listening to English every day helps your brain recognize sounds, patterns, and meaning. Even if you don't understand everything, your brain is learning. This learning happens quietly.
Quiet learning is powerful. You may not notice it today or tomorrow, but one day you will understand a sentence without translating. That moment may surprise you.
I want listeners to know that this surprise moment is real progress. It means your brain connected meaning directly to English. That is the beginning of thinking in English.
Yes, and these moments often start very small, maybe one word, maybe one short phrase, but small moments grow into bigger ones over time.
Another important thing to remember is that stopping translation does not mean stopping thinking. It means thinking differently. Your brain is learning a new path, and new paths take time.
New paths feel slow at first. That is normal. Your brain is careful. Careful learning lasts longer than rushed learning. Slow progress is strong progress.
Some learners feel frustrated and try to push themselves to think only in English. This often creates pressure. Pressure makes the brain tense, and tense brains translate more.
That is why we say, be kind to your brain. Let it move at its own speed. The goal is comfort, not control. Comfort helps English flow naturally.
Thinking in English usually begins with simple ideas, very simple ones. Things like, I'm tired or I'm hungry. These thoughts repeat often, and repetition helps your brain feel safe.
Safety is very important for learning. When your brain feels safe, it opens. When it opens, learning happens faster and deeper. Calm listening creates safety.
Right now, just listening to this podcast is helping your brain. You are hearing English in a slow and gentle way. Your brain is getting used to English sounds and rhythm.
You do not need to repeat or answer. Just listen. Listening is already practice. Listening is already training your brain to think in English.
In this first part, we want you to relax and understand the process. Translating is normal. Thinking in English grows slowly. You are exactly where you need to be.
In the next part, we will talk about simple listening habits that help your brain stop translating naturally. These habits are easy and realistic for daily life.
Thank you for listening calmly with us today. You are doing something very good for your English.
Yes, thank you for being here. Take a slow breath, stay relaxed, and we'll continue very soon.
Now we are moving gently into part 2, and I want to keep the same calm feeling. If you are listening right now, you do not need to do anything special. Just stay relaxed and open. This part is about simple listening habits that help your brain stop translating naturally.
Yes, listening habits are very important here. Many learners think they need to think harder to stop translating, but the truth is the opposite. When you listen more, your brain works more easily. Listening helps your brain feel familiar with English.
Let's start with something very simple. Listening every day, even for a short time. You do not need long study sessions. 5 or 10 minutes of calm listening is enough. What matters is that you listen often.
Short listening feels easy, and easy habits last longer. When something feels light, you are more likely to do it every day. This daily contact helps your brain stop treating English as something strange.
Another helpful habit is listening to the same English again and again. The first time, you may understand very little. That is okay. The second time, your brain recognizes more sounds. This repetition builds comfort.
Yes, repetition is not boring for the brain, it is comforting. When your brain hears the same sounds again, it relaxes. Relaxed brains translate less because they already feel familiar with the language.
Some learners feel guilty listening again to the same audio. They think they should always listen to something new. But new content can feel stressful. Familiar content helps thinking in English grow.
Familiarity is a big step toward thinking in English. When English feels familiar, your brain does not panic. It does not run back to your first language. It stays calm and listens.
Another important habit is listening without stopping to translate every sentence. When you notice yourself translating, do not fight it. Just notice it and gently return to listening.
Fighting your brain creates tension. Tension makes translation stronger, but noticing and letting go is gentle. Over time, your brain learns that it does not need to translate everything.
You can also try listening for the general idea instead of every word. Ask yourself, is this about work? Is this about feelings? This trains your brain to understand meaning, not individual words.
Understanding meaning is the key to thinking in English. When your brain understands meaning directly, translation becomes unnecessary. This skill grows slowly through listening.
Listening while doing simple activities can also help. You might listen while walking, cooking, or resting. This kind of listening feels natural and relaxed.
When English becomes part of your environment, your brain stops treating it like homework. It starts to feel like background sound. This is very helpful for stopping translation.
Another gentle habit is listening to calm and clear English voices. Fast or stressful English can overwhelm your brain. Slow, friendly English helps your brain stay open.
Calm voices create a safe learning space. When your brain feels safe, it does not rush to translate. It stays with the English sounds and meaning.
I want listeners to remember that listening itself is active learning. Even if you are quiet, your brain is working. It is building connections between sound and meaning.
These connections are invisible but very real. One day, you may suddenly understand a sentence without translating. That moment comes from many days of quiet listening.
You can also listen and repeat silently in your mind. You do not need to speak out loud. Just letting a sentence echo inside your head is useful practice.
Silent repetition is very gentle and safe. It helps your brain hold English longer without pressure. This supports thinking in English naturally.
Some learners worry they are not studying enough if they only listen. But listening is not lazy learning. It is deep learning. It changes how your brain processes language.
Letting go of guilt is important. Learning does not need to feel hard to be effective. Gentle learning often works better and lasts longer.
I want listeners to notice how they feel while listening. If you feel calm, that is a good sign. Calm means your brain is open and learning.
When calm becomes familiar, English starts to feel normal. When English feels normal, your brain stops translating so much. This change happens naturally.
You do not need to stop translating today. You only need to keep listening gently. Translation will slowly fade as English becomes more familiar.
This process takes time, and that's okay. There is no race. Your brain is learning in a healthy way.
As we finish this part, remember that listening is the foundation of thinking in English. Gentle, regular listening builds strong roots.
In the next part, we will talk about simple thinking habits that help your brain use English more naturally in daily life.
Thank you for staying with us and listening so calmly. You are doing something very good for your English.
Yes, thank you for being here. Take a slow breath and stay relaxed. We'll continue very soon.
As we move into part 3, the focus becomes more internal and personal. Now we are talking about what you can do inside your mind to help English appear more naturally. This part is quiet and reflective, just like thinking itself.
Yes, thinking in English often starts very softly. It does not begin with long sentences. It begins with small thoughts, short words, or simple feelings. These small beginnings are very important.
Many learners believe that to think in English, they must stop using their first language completely. That idea can feel stressful, but in reality, both languages can exist together for a long time. This is normal and healthy.
Exactly. Your brain does not need to delete anything. It only needs to add something new. English slowly becomes another option for your thoughts. This addition happens gently, not suddenly.
One helpful habit is naming things around you in English. You can look at an object and quietly think its English name. You do not need to make a full sentence. One word is enough.
This habit helps your brain connect meaning directly to English. There is no long translation process, just the object and the word. This is a simple step toward thinking in English.
Another gentle habit is describing simple actions in your mind. For example, you can think, I am walking, or I am drinking water. These are everyday thoughts that repeat often.
Repetition helps the brain feel safe. When ideas repeat, your brain becomes comfortable using English for them. Comfort is the key to stopping translation.
Some learners feel frustrated because they think slowly in English. They want thoughts to come faster. But slow thinking is not a problem. Slow thinking means your brain is learning carefully.
Careful learning lasts longer. When you rush, your brain feels pressure. Pressure makes translation stronger. Calm thinking creates space for English to grow.
I want listeners to know that thinking in English does not need to happen all the time. Even a few seconds of English thinking is useful. Small moments are enough.
Yes, you might think one short sentence in English, then return to your first language. That is completely normal. Over time, English thoughts appear more often and last longer.
Another helpful habit is asking yourself very simple questions in English. For example, what am I doing? Or how do I feel? You do not need long answers.
Even answering with one word is fine. Your brain practices understanding and responding in English. This builds thinking skills gently and safely.
Many learners feel pressure to think perfectly in English, but thinking is private. No one hears your thoughts. This is the safest place to try and make mistakes.
Mistakes in thinking are not mistakes at all. They are experiments. Your brain is testing new paths. Testing is a natural part of learning.
I want listeners to remember that thinking in English may feel strange at first. That strange feeling does not mean something is wrong. It means something new is happening.
New experiences often feel uncomfortable, but discomfort is not danger. When you stay calm, your brain adapts and learns more easily.
Some learners stop trying to think in English because it feels tiring. That is understandable. Thinking in a new language uses more energy at first.
Rest is important too. You do not need to think in English all day. Short, gentle moments are enough. Balance helps learning stay healthy.
I want listeners to notice small signs of progress. Maybe you understand a word without translating. Maybe a phrase appears in your mind naturally. These moments matter.
When you notice progress, your brain feels encouraged. Encouragement helps motivation grow. Motivation helps you continue listening and thinking.
Thinking in English is closely connected to listening. The more you listen, the more material your brain has. Listening feeds thinking.
Listening is like planting seeds. Thinking is like small plants growing later. Growth happens quietly, even when you can't see it.
I want listeners to be patient with this process. Thinking habits change slowly, but slow change is strong and lasting change.
Strong learning stays with you. When English thinking grows slowly, it becomes stable and natural.
Another gentle idea is imagining simple situations in English. You might imagine greeting someone or ordering food. You do not need to speak, just imagine.
Imagination is powerful. Your brain reacts to imagined situations almost like real ones. This helps English feel familiar before real conversations.
There is no need to perform or prove anything. Thinking is not a test. It is a private, personal process. You can take all the time you need.
Removing pressure allows curiosity to return. Curiosity is very helpful for learning. When you are curious, your brain stays open.
As we get closer to the end of this part, I want listeners to notice how gentle all these habits are. Nothing is forced, everything is calm and respectful.
Calm learning respects your brain. When you respect your brain, it works better for you. This respect is the foundation of thinking in English.
In the final part, we will gently bring everything together and talk about how to carry these ideas into daily life.
Please stay with us for part 4. You are doing meaningful work just by listening and reflecting. We will continue very soon.
As we come to the final part of today's episode, I want to slow everything down and let the ideas settle. We have talked about listening, thinking, and gentle habits. Now we will bring everything together in a calm and simple way.
Yes, this is a soft ending. There is nothing new to learn right now. This part is about understanding and trusting the process. Thinking in English grows naturally when you treat your brain with patience and kindness.
Let's imagine your daily life again. You wake up, move through your day, and hear English somewhere. Maybe it is a podcast, a video, or a short message. You listen without pressure. That moment already helps your brain.
Then, maybe later, a small English word appears in your mind. You do not force it. You simply notice it. That moment is important. It shows your brain is starting to feel comfortable with English.
Stopping translation does not happen because you decide to stop. It happens because your brain no longer needs translation. This happens when English feels familiar and safe.
Safety is the key word again. When your brain feels safe, it stays in English. When it feels stressed, it goes back to your first language. This is natural and not a failure.
I want listeners to remember that translating less is a result, not a goal. The goal is comfort. When comfort grows, translation slowly fades away on its own.
This is why gentle listening and gentle thinking habits are so powerful. They do not fight your brain, they work with it. Learning becomes easier and more natural.
Some days you may notice more English thoughts. Other days you may notice none at all. Both kinds of days are normal. Learning is not a straight line.
Yes, progress goes up and down. Quiet days are still part of learning. Even when you feel stuck, your brain is still collecting information in the background.
I want listeners to let go of comparing themselves to others. Everyone's brain learns at a different speed. Your journey is unique, and your pace is right for you.
Comparing creates pressure, and pressure creates translation. When you focus on your own calm progress, your brain stays open and curious.
Thinking in English does not mean thinking perfectly. Real thoughts are messy and incomplete. Even in your first language, thoughts are not always clear sentences.
That is such an important point. Thinking in English can be just a word, an image, or a feeling. All of these count. They are signs of learning.
Over time, listening and thinking work together. Listening gives your brain examples. Thinking gives your brain practice. Together, they prepare you for speaking.
Speaking will come later naturally. When thinking feels easier, speaking feels less scary. There is no need to rush this step.
I want listeners to carry this calm mindset into daily life. When you listen to English, listen without judging yourself. When you think in English, think without pressure.
Judgment blocks learning. Acceptance opens space. When you accept where you are now, your brain works with you instead of against you.
I want listeners to smile gently if they notice themselves translating. There is no need to stop it. Just return to listening or thinking calmly. This gentle return is enough.
Over time, those returns become easier. Translation becomes quieter. English thoughts become louder. This change happens naturally when you stay patient.
I want listeners to remember that learning English is not about fighting habits. It is about slowly replacing them with new, softer ones.
Softer habits last longer. When learning feels kind, you continue. When you continue, progress happens.
As this episode comes to an end, I feel grateful for this quiet time together. We talked about learning English as a gentle process, not a stressful one.
I feel grateful too, and I hope listeners feel supported and encouraged. You listened carefully and reflected calmly. That is meaningful learning.
When English appears in your mind later today or tomorrow, remember this feeling. You do not need to push, you only need to notice.
Noticing is enough. Your brain knows how to learn. Trust it and trust yourself.
Thank you for spending this time with us and listening so carefully. Your presence here truly matters.
We're very happy you joined us today. Please take care, keep listening gently, and we look forward to being with you again. Goodbye for now.